Hey everybody, welcome to Mortgage Today for Monday, February 26, 2024, and oh, what a day it was. UMBS were flat on the open, down 3 basis points, but it's pretty much flat. The big number this week will be the Personal Income and Outlays report on Thursday. The report contains the PCE price index, which is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. The street is looking for headline inflation to come in at 2.4%, and the core rate is expected to come in at 2.8%. We will also get a lot of housing data with new home sales, home prices, pending home sales. Finally, we get the ISM data and GDP. Credit card rates have hit a record high according to the CFPB. The data only goes back to 1994, so it ignores the high interest rate environment of the 1980s. The CFPB notes that the spread between the prime rate and the interest rate on cards has been growing. It compares the APR spread versus late payments and insinuates that credit card companies are price gouging, so there'll probably be some legislation coming on that. The S&P 500 hovered near the 5,100 mark. Amazon Inc. had effectively become Amazon.com Inc. has effectively become a member of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, while Berkshire Hathaway set another all-time high, pushing the market value of Warren Buffett's conglomerate closer to $1 trillion. Treasury 10-year yields rose 4 basis points earlier this morning to 4.28. Stock markets have room to extend gains beyond record highs if the economic outlook remains upbeat and investors pour money into recent laggards, according to Goldman Sachs strategists. The S&P 500's run to an all-time peak has left investors S&P 500's run to all-time peak The S&P 500's run to an all-time peak has left investor positioning extremely concentrated in the so-called Magnificent Seven stocks. As the bond market looks at the 5-year Treasury auction in the rear view, there's a figurative sigh of relief. Granted, it's not enough to get Treasuries or MBS back to positive territory, but it does seem to confirm the anxiety trade driving the weakness earlier in the day. That conclusion is further supported by the Treasury outperformance of MBS in the afternoon after the underperformance earlier in the day. Despite the intraday volatility, none of the bigger picture range boundaries were threatened, and there were no interesting implications on bond market momentum. Generally sideways since CPI, and waiting the next big data has been a good recap for nearly 2 weeks now. UMBS ended the day down 17 basis points at 100.19. That 10-year ended up at 2.83, so at 100.19 on the technicals. That is putting us right on that bright blue 200-day moving average with a tough Fibonacci very close above. And then we have the 100-day moving average coming up to give some support on the bottom. So in terms of technicals, the ranges are getting very tight. So that'll provide some stability, but it makes it tough to break out to the top. We got a promising updated MBA forecast for 2024. The MBA released their recent forecasted projections for mortgage originations 1 to 4 family. A welcome sight is that they predict a 25+% increase in quarter 2 over quarter 1 2024 and a 13% increase in quarter 3 over quarter 2. In addition, the third quarter 2024 prediction is nearly 22% higher than the same quarter in 2023's actual originations. As volumes continue to rise quickly, having a solid quality control program is important as ever in order to continue to produce quality loans while mitigating risk. Also, the difference in median housing costs for homes with a mortgage and median gross rent is $563 a month. The spread in cost between renting and owning a home with a mortgage is the widest in San Jose, California, San Francisco, and New York metros. The difference between the median monthly housing cost for homes with a mortgage and the median monthly gross rent in these metros is $1,341, $1,303, and $1,289 respectively. Phoenix, Orlando, Jacksonville, and Atlanta have the narrowest gaps between the renting and owning of a mortgage. In Phoenix, the In Phoenix and Orlando, the median gross rent costs are $87 and $145 less than median housing costs for homes with a mortgage. In both Jacksonville and Atlanta, the difference is $216.